I tried to make you Justin Fields there. I know in a few months you're going to wish you had the payday that young man is getting. Had his pro day today. How impressive was he? What'd you see? What'd you hear about Justin Fields' performance?
Yeah, I'd love to be Justin Fields. I think he's going to be making a lot more money than me in a couple months. But yeah, he was about as awesome as you thought Justin Fields would be. A 4.44 40, which I think 99.9% of the planet would be okay saying that they can run 40 yards in 4.44 seconds. But that's a disappointment for him. Obviously, his goal was to get into the 4.3s, but still, he's 6'3", 225 pounds. You're not supposed to be running that fast when you're that big. But here he is being the freak that he is. I think the most impressive thing he did today, obviously, was at the end of his throwing session when he basically mimicked Zach Wilson's throw. They worked with the same guy to script their pro day, so obviously he wanted to show off that arm as well. But those are the two things that stand out. He's got a rocket of an arm that's very accurate for somebody like that. But then also that 4.4 40 time that's crazy. That's insane, and it solidifies him as a first-round draft pick, as we already knew. Now the question is, Trevor Lawrence is going to go number one to the Jaguars, whether it's the Jets, the 49ers, the Falcons, or anybody else. Where does Justin Fields fall into that category?
Yeah, and you know, the important thing for him might not be whether he goes 2, 3, 4, wherever. It's going to be fit. Does somebody realize, and you know, Browns fans know this for certain, realize what you have in the quarterback, tailor your offense around to his strengths, and you have a winning recipe there. The other thing is, you know, you listen to Ryan Day talk about him, and he checks all the boxes of an NFL franchise quarterback. You've seen him more than anybody. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's 100% accurate. I think he gets stuck on his first read too much is a little overblown. One, because most college quarterbacks get stuck on their first read. That's why they're college quarterbacks and not getting paid millions of dollars to do this. But also, I'd get stuck on my first read too if their names were Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson, and most of the time they're 5-6 yards open down the field. There's no reason for you to go through progressions when that first read is consistently open. But also, if you look at the film, he has improved in that area a lot. You saw it in the Clemson game when he was checking down passes to Trey Sermon. He wasn't doing that when he first got to Ohio State. Now, can he hold on to the ball a little too long? Yeah, sure. But that's because he goes big game hunting. And as you're showing on the screen right now, he wants to throw passes like that more than the 6-yard dig most of the time. But I do think some of his weaknesses are a bit overblown, and some things that when you put it into context, it's actually not that bad. He's ready for this level, physically gifted, obviously, a great athlete with a rocket arm, as I've mentioned before.
Yeah, and if I had an arm like that, I'd be wanting to do that instead of the 6-yard dig routes too. The other thing is, he has won consistently, you know, at Ohio State and before as well. So that's the bottom line. Does the guy win?
Yeah, he lost to Clemson and Alabama. I mean, look, those are the two best programs in the country. And that's the only teams you lost to when you avenged one of those losses the very next year. And also, he's 20-2 as a starter, obviously, and he's had 2 bad games. And in one of those games, they were up 45-7 before he went crazy. And then the other one was just weird because you were missing your best receiver and a bunch of other guys because of the COVID situation. So, yeah, he's won a lot of football games, and he started 22 games, and for the most part, he's looked awesome. And that's, I think, needs to outweigh what he did for maybe a half or so against Northwestern or Indiana.